Namaste, angels. This is the bi-weekly reading for the sign of Taurus for the period of today, Monday, December 30th, through Sunday, January 12th. All right, that's the 2-week period. I've been using these all weekend rather, for the love reading, for the general reading. What is this called? The Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland. And, okay. Well, your card is base chakra. Base chakra, I'm saying your card is base chakra because I just picked it up and saw that the base chakra was right behind it. This card came up for everybody in the general reading, so I'll talk about it in a second. Your card is sacral chakra, which is like our groin area. As you can see, the color that represents the sacral chakra is orange. Some of you, if you're feeling blocked in this area, maybe you want to, wear some orange or, bring an orange candle, some other orange stuff around you. It's connected to the element of water and maybe water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, emotions, love, right? Again, sacral chakra. So it's down there. Yes, the glands to which it's attached in the human body are the testicles and the ovaries. So this week, it is such a good time to get pregnant. And maybe especially for you guys, for you earth signs, because you know what card came up a gazillion times? The Empress. And that actually represents you guys' sign. That represents the planet Venus, ruler of the sign of Taurus. So a bunch of you could be getting pregnant, or if you want to get pregnant, this could be the good time. If you're feeling blocked in this area, again, maybe you want to work on your sacral chakra. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to do that. For that, I'm just going to go to the book real quick. The second chakra is located 2 fingers below your navel and relates to emotions, desires, creativity, and sexuality. To activate this chakra, visualize a glowing orange ball of energy in your belly area. See it spinning and sparkling. Feel joy as it grows larger and sends orange sparks out into the universe. By energizing the sacral chakra, you attract creativity, joy, passion, and love into your life. This exercise can be used to energize any chakra simply by visualizing the appropriate color energy. And I've had feelings about the sacral chakra before and even done readings talk about it at length in some of my general readings and stuff, because sometimes it comes up in relation to over sexuality, over stimulation. So maybe if somebody's got some sort of addiction, we're going into a new year, maybe you want to drop your porn addiction, no judgment from me, but that at this time of year we make up resolutions and stuff. I'm going to stop doing this, I'm going to stop doing that. Maybe you want to, cut off all your hoes. I'm kidding, but you guys know what I mean. If you're dating a lot of people, you want to narrow it down. You want to stop watching porn or looking at porn, or maybe you want to start, maybe you're sexually frustrated. And so the other extreme, sacral chakra can come up in either case. Base chakra is also known as the root chakra. As you can see, its color that it is associated with is red, and the element to which it's connected is earth. So this one is really your card. And it's all about the adrenal gland. So that is the adrenal system, kidneys and pancreas and I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but urinary tract, all of that. If you've been having issues there, maybe want to look into it. But also the spine, that's where it goes. That's where you find the root chakra or the base chakra in the spine. It is, yes, according to the book, situated in the base of the spine and is most closely related to all of your earthly issues, such as survival, the physical body, issues of money, sustenance, safety, and shelter. Physical movement strengthens this chakra. Walk, dance, work in the garden, and do anything that'll get you moving. By energizing this chakra, you'll strengthen your right to have stuff. I guess it's about manifestation. And you'll be blessed with the loving and supportive relationships that you so truly deserve. Okay, that's nice. That's a good card for you guys. So that's how we're starting off the reading. Other than that, the card most directly representing you guys this week is the Wheel of Fortune, which for most people is going to be fabulous because the Wheel of Fortune is all about like a reversal of fortune. So if you've been having hard times, it's like here come the good ones. And if you've been having good times, maybe things are about to take a turn. Hopefully you've been saving for a rainy day. But for most people, when the Wheel of Fortune shows up like this upright, it is about luck, Jupiter ushering in something good for you, something big for you. In work, I don't know why I'm going to work first. Maybe because you got the World here sitting underneath the Wheel of Fortune. The World also showed up in the general reading and the love reading a bunch of times. Like I used several different decks. So watch those two for extra information. But some of you may want to leave your job. And I think we've been talking about you guys want to leave your job for a while, right? The past couple of readings and start your own business and things. So that's still going on. You're just being called to like follow your dreams. If you had some sort of burning desire in your heart and your mind, maybe since you were a child, when I grow up, I want to be a whatever it is. It is time for you to start trying to figure out how you can do that. And I think a lot of you are just having trouble. I don't want to say, not trouble. That's not the right word, but I was going to say trouble, like listening to authority. It's not really trouble listening to authority, but you just don't want to work for somebody else anymore. Like you want to do your own thing. And that is more than okay. I was going to say it's okay. It's more than okay. It is extremely admirable. And if anybody's going to do it, you guys could, because again, the earth signs, you guys have a tremendous work ethic and dedication, commitment, and you finish what you start. You tend to finish what you start. So, if you don't mind continuing to work where you do, then might be time for you to ask for a raise. Like you're working too much for too little, and that can be or you feel like that at least. That can be what the world feels like specifically in that position too. Like what you're just putting more effort in than what you're getting back out. So you may want to ask for a raise or a transfer or something. And if you know somebody that does what you want to do, or that hasn't, you have a network, you have an avenue, somebody that you can pick up and call, maybe call in that favor and ask them if you can, chat with them, bounce some ideas off of them, maybe internship with them, apprentice under them, something like that. And sometimes, people will really be, not only just willing to help you, but sometimes they're particularly flattered and complimented by somebody requesting to like learn what it is they do, and they'll be like more than happy to help you. In love, your relationships might not be suiting your needs anymore, at least the way that they're going. You may need to renegotiate the same way you got to renegotiate at work. You got to ask for a raise or a transfer or something. You may need to renegotiate in love too with your relationships when the Wheel of Fortune shows up. Talk about your feelings. Ask your partner, your love interest, your crush, if you have that kind of relationship with them, that sort of dynamic, what it is they're feeling, what it is they're wanting, and see if you guys can, negotiate, collaborate, like make some concessions. Well, what's the word I'm looking for? Not concede. You know what I mean? Like work together. You give a little, and you find a happy place in the middle. If you are single, ready to mingle, then do that. Get out. This is a holiday weekend. Great time to possibly meet somebody. But you also, it's a good time with these cards to meet somebody like online too. So, Venus is currently in Aquarius. Again, your ruler is currently in Aquarius. You got the Queen of Swords here, representing potentially Venus herself, maybe, and or the signs of Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Gemini and Libra, which are co-ruled by Venus with you. So that energy could be swirling around. It's all about groups, like meeting people in groups, or your friends hooking you up, or maybe your coworkers hooking you up. So it's a good time for you to meet someone through someone. Again, like calling in a favor at work for work. Maybe not calling in a favor like, hey, can you introduce me? Or maybe if you got your eye on somebody specific, can you introduce me to somebody? Or let's, can you set me up? Let's do a double date. Can you be my wingman, my wingwoman, or whatever? Somebody may want to do that. In terms of finances, it tends to be a really, really good omen, especially, again, if you've been having a rough time financially. like your circumstances are about to like completely change. Again, it's Jupiter ushering in some positive energy for you, luck, growth, expansion, and things are about to get better. If you had a long period, period of doing well, long prosperous period, then again, it might be your time to have a downturn. This is only a 2-week reading, so maybe for 2 weeks you're not getting the kind of orders in that you have been getting in, or getting the kind of hours, used to been getting a bunch of overtime. It slowed down or whatever. So like I said, hopefully you have what you need to live on in those times of downturn. But for the most part, for most people, they've had a longer period of, I don't want to say being broke, not, but the opposite of prosperity, of just doing maybe mediocre. And now we're going to do well. Things are going to pick up in a really, really good way. So let's move on to the Queen of Swords. That is the card in your surrounding energy, which again could be in part your energy. Your ruler is located in an air sign. Your ruler is potentially the Queen of Air herself, and she's located in fellow air sign Aquarius. So that could be you, or it could be co-workers, friends, family, energy that is surrounding you. Queen of Swords is upright, is a no-nonsense kind of gal, She's about her business. She's serious. And the only place that might not be so great is in love, because she may be too pushy. When she shows up in relation to love, she could be too forceful, and we may force somebody right on out of our life, force them away, force them to not want to be around us. So we only have to be careful with that. And it's because of an impulse, and it's out of love usually. Like, she gets so excited. You see, I'm all hopped up today. I don't know what that's about, but I've been like this all day. Maybe because the moon is also in Aquarius today. She means well, even in the instance of love, and it's out of love, but she just like, some of you guys are probably a lot younger than me, but there was this cartoon with this like big bear-like thing, dog, and he would pick up the other little guy, and he'd be like, I'm gonna love you and hug you and squeeze you and call you George, and he was just like suffocating the little guy. And that's like how the Queen of Swords is, just loving a bit too hard. So want to watch out for that. There's another term for the oldies, like you get more flies with honey than vinegar. So like there's a way to bring somebody closer to you in a more natural, organic way, rather than saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, and putting people off and making them feel uncomfortable. That's how you force them away. So you just got to watch your boundaries and stuff like that. In terms of work, you may want to look at this high priestess. You may want to look at this Queen of Swords in a high priestess kind of way, and not to be necessarily broadcasting your plans, especially if you want to start your own business or something, or you want to go for the promotion. Like, keep that under wraps. Even though you might feel like you have friends there and they should be supporting you, just wait until you get closer to it. Or maybe even have gotten the new position already, or have gotten the raise already, or the bonus already, before you open your mouth if you feel the need to share it with somebody. And also be careful of potentially overreacting to what you may perceive as, some sort of slight against you or disrespect towards you, but the person didn't mean it. So be careful about popping off over the next 2 weeks at work too. And I guess that's what I want to say about the Queen of Swords at work. I talked about her in love, talked about her in general. Finances, again, she's a no-nonsense kind of gal. She's usually really, really good in the areas of finance. She might even be like an actual bookkeeper, or in the business of finance, or in accounting. So if she's a friend of yours, she might be somebody that could, help you out and give you some advice in that area. Maybe she's the person you call in for a favor because she's got network, she's got people, and, she knows people who knows people, and she can help you out. But it's a positive card, especially, again, sitting right there next to the Wheel of Fortune. In terms of health, though, you may be holding things in, repressing your emotions. She's not very emotional, good or bad. She just doesn't show on the outside very many feelings to other people. A lot of things are held in, and that can affect you adversely in terms of health, increase your stress levels. So if you've been doing that, maybe you want to slip into a drugstore and try on one of those blood pressure cuffs, and you can check your blood pressure and stuff for free. Just make sure everything's all right. If you've been holding things in, or find somebody to talk to. An air sign is also a good person to talk to if you need that. The world. Let's move on to the world and your position of work and finance most directly. There's a good chance that, you're working far too hard for way too little money, way too little recognition, way too little respect. And you may want to go out and do your own thing. Or at the job, again, it's important to toot or blow your own horn and say, listen, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. There's a way to say it. There's a way to do it. And ask for a raise, ask for a transfer, ask for an increase. Get the recognition that you deserve for your accomplishments. Don't allow people to, accidentally or inadvertently overlook you and give credit to someone else for what you've done. But many of you are going to be wanting to start your own things, even if it's like moonlighting initially on the side. So you keep your job, but you start your own thing on the side until it gets grown enough to sustain you. Sometimes when these cards come up, people like to look for work in other countries. Now, I had a friend on here that I met on Facebook actually, and he taught Chinese through some sort of online group, and he ended up getting to travel to some Asian countries through this group too. But for the longest, he had been doing it from home. So it was kind of like he worked in another country, but from home. It was something about teaching kids. Goodness, I don't remember the name of it because I wanted to share with you in case somebody wanted to get into it. I think that, it's a few different languages that you can teach, and the way that they teach is through these videos. Like you make a video and they show it to a classroom over there. This is a ball, like that sort of thing. I'll try to look up the name and share it in the box, just because I'm sure that I'm saying all this for somebody who is listening and wants the information. In terms of finances, similar to what I said here, if your finances have been stagnant, have been not moving very well, you went through a long period of being not so prosperous, this is a time for an upward swing. It's really a good sign that whatever blockage was there is going to be cleared, and all of a sudden we're in the money. When it comes in, don't go crazy though. When the money comes in, I'm not saying you can't spend any of it, because that's what money is for, but don't be like, okay, jackpot, and then blow your wad. Be careful about that. Let's move into the Two of Swords in your position of love and relationships. It's upright. I almost started talking about it being in reverse. It is upright. The Seven of Swords is in reverse. Your overall energy. All right, that's even better then, because it's a good omen when it's upright. Especially for relationships or interests that is already in existence. It can be a sign that things are going to move into an easier, more balanced space. Twos are about balance. They're about faith. So it's just more spiritual sort of mindset. And again, not forcing things, easygoing, lighter energy, treating each other like equals, right? Two's about the balance, the equality, equity, and just things just working out really well. If you're single and you're looking for love, then the Two of Swords kind of guide you to look at yourself first. Not really in a Hierophant kind of way, but it's a card of indecision. So it's a card where you need to do something, but that something may be, actually making a decision and putting your foot down. We know you need to do something, take some sort of action. And basically inaction is in itself action, right? To not do anything is to do something. And it might be time to consider that. And if you, through your inaction, which becomes an action, are blocking your own, blessings and things. Also, it's important when the Two of Swords comes up to remember that a partner does not complete you. Yes, it is about pairs. It is about partnership. But it's, a partner does not complete you. And again, desperation, or what appears to be desperation, and just laying it on too thick because you're feeling like I must have somebody. Queen of Swords sitting right on top of that. Be careful of it. That is, again, a turn off, and people don't like that. So I never talked about your overall energy here. It is the Seven of Swords reversed. And right behind it, I'm just going to mention, is the Nine of Swords, which is a card of worry, paranoia, anxiety. I was talking about holding in your feelings, your pressure going up. So I think that's for somebody again. And there's no need, because things are going to get better with the Six of Swords showing up upright. That's moving away from a challenging time. But this can already affect you, right? If you're, so worried that you, like affect your own, get yourself all twisted up in a knot, that it could have already affected you in your health, like for no reason, because things are about to get better, but you already went over the deep end. So if you have a propensity for that, be careful again, because we also have these cards. Remember the adrenal gland. You're going to want to be careful. Oh yeah, Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords. In a general sense, it's in reverse. To sum it up, it's one of these cards, of these energies that's like, think about, like, crime doesn't pay, right? Without you paying. Like, there's always something you got to pay, you got to give. Something's got to give. Then the karma and things have to balance out. So when we're taking certain steps in our lives, and when we're doing something that we think we're getting away with something, we're stealing away with something, really there is no getting away, because again, the universe has a way of balancing things out. So think about, is it worth it for you to have to exchange, something? Is what you have worth losing to do something that maybe is not on the up and up, is not the right thing to do? That's what you got to consider in terms of love, in terms of work, in terms of your general life, when the Seven of Swords in reverse comes up. But then also more specifically with the love, people could be feeling again that they're not really so into their relationship, and maybe that's why you have a decision to make and you're in this place of indecision with the Two of Swords. If you're in a committed relationship, you got to give it deep thought. Like, why? Why am I not happy? What is it? Is it a real thing, or is it just something, a fluke, something I'm going through, a phase or whatever? Because you got to think about, what do I have to lose? Do I really want to let go of this relationship? Do I really want to lose it? Is it worth it? And if you decide it is, then, so be it. Let it go. If you decide it's something you want to hold on to, then maybe you need to also figure out or decide, is there something that I need to be doing differently in order for it to work better for me, feel better for me? So further advice to you guys, masculine and feminine Taurians. The Four of Wands, I believe this card is, which is all about happiness, but it's all in joy. Looking for your own happiness and contentment, to just like with your spread that you got here, it really is about sort of designing your own life, the job I want, the relationship I want, the kind of, situation I want. But you have to, yes, open up to the possibilities, and you have to open up to growth and expansion and the gifts that Jupiter is presenting to you, right? So be ready to receive. That's what the opening up is about. And for the feminine, this is kind of like a major arcana card for this deck. Major arcana card 16 is called Rebuild. In the tarot, the traditional tarot, major arcana card 16 is the Tower. So you think about the Tower, is about destruction, or at least, the way it's illustrated and stuff. And then this one is sort of like a play on words. It's called Rebuild. This card came up for the collective in the love reading also. And this deck is specifically about love. Again, it is called the Psychic Tarot for the Heart. I read this card in the love reading, I think I'll read it for you too, though. Let me, if I can quickly find the page. The dynamics of a relationship can often be complicated. The longer we've been in a relationship, the more complex it can be. Relationships begin to grow many layers consisting of joys, sorrows, honesty, and duplicity. As these layers build on top of each other, it becomes increasingly difficult to know what the core of the relationship is based on. What was once love may now appear to be merely tolerance, or worse. Even in good relationships, you may find yourself growing apart from the other person. In either case, the weight of these layers can cause a relationship to collapse. Now may be a good time to start fresh with one or more of your relationships. Peel off the layers one by one. Cut away any pretense. That means like bullshit and falsity, right? And see what may be revealed. Find the core of the relationship and decide if it's still what you want. So that's kind of like what I was saying, that they're doing it a lot more eloquently. But I was saying, like, if you're feeling like you don't want it, make sure, figure out, But if you take everything away, if you strip away how fine this man is, or how beautiful this woman is, how big her butt is, and all, how much money he has, his wallet is fat, his car is nice. Take away all that kind of stuff. Like, what is left? Do we have a real relationship? And if we do I want to hold on to it and keep it? Or do I not care if it's gone, if I let it go? That's the decision. I'm glad I read this. So find the core of the relationship and decide if it's still what you want and what you find attractive. If so, then discard the old layers, right, the stuff that had gotten funky, and consciously create a new commitment with this person or persons. One based on truth, honesty, and love. Use the awareness gained by this exercise to steer the relationship on a clear, steady course. The same applies to rebuilding the relationship with yourself. Examine your many layers of joys and sorrows, success and failures, and think about how they're affecting your ability to love yourself and therefore to find love. Expose the false voices that tell you you're unworthy and silence them. When you do, your true value will be revealed. Rebuild your life around unconditional love for yourself and invite in unconditional love from others. They have an affirmation that you may choose to say. It is, I cut to the core of my relationships and consciously rebuild them. I hope that you guys have enjoyed your bi-weekly reading. I'll be back for you in 2 weeks. What did I say? The 12th, the 13th? I'll be back. Namaste.